Hi everyone, you can see here the bottom edge of our shower. There's actually a really large gap behind this poorly done silicone job. A quick disclaimer, we are not experienced at DIY or making YouTube videos, but we did want to give back to the YouTube community with an idea that we came up with that worked to temporarily fix this problem. Of course, there is the problem of the fact that the gap existing in the first place, so it's more of a band-aid solution that is much cheaper than renovating our whole bathroom. Even though the floor of the shower has sunk down a bit, we did check underneath the house that there is something supporting that, so it's not actually going any further down, even though it's not fabulously ideal for the water draining well. The water does still drain into the drain. The first thing that we had to do was remove the original silicone that was there. In fact, we have removed the silicone and re-siliconed again, thinking it just was not enough silicone, but it turns out that the problem is silicone can't bridge a gap that big, and it was not fully sealing that gap, so water was going under the house and millipedes and slugs were coming up from the gap. Not great. Here's what the gap looks like after the silicone has been removed and we cleaned it out a little bit. If I went back and had a second chance at this, I probably would have cleaned it out a little bit more, scrubbing it down with bleach or vinegar just to kill any algae or mould that was growing around that gap. Had a breakthrough in solving our gap problem when I stumbled upon this product called a shower dam. It sticks to the floor and is a silicone strip, and it can stop the water, and I chose to buy the one that was solid in the middle rather than the one that was hollow. Before we did any sticking, we cut it to size and just checked that it fit into that space. On the left here, where it met the edge of our shower, we were actually able to cut it to kind of slot into all the shower fittings, and that worked out really well. Where the gap wasn't that wide, we actually put a bit of silicone behind the shower dam just to make sure that gap was fully blocked even behind it, and then we stuck the shower dam in front of it. Where the gap was quite wide, you'll see in a moment that we actually used expanding foam. So here's us putting the expanding foam on the left side where the gap was bigger, and I feel like it has done a really good job of keeping the millipedes and slugs out from the back, because it does expand and then bubble out from the gap. There's quite a lot of material behind the wall where we don't see it, and we stuck the shower dam over the top on the front while the expanding foam was still wet. We just wiped off the excess expanding foam and we put some masking tape over it just for good measure, but I'm not sure how much that helped. So make sure you check the instructions on the packaging, which tells you how long the expanding foam needs to dry. While it was expanding and drying, we actually tried putting something heavy in front of that shower dam to hold it in place, but it did cause the shower dam to distort a little bit. So if I had another chance, I would probably have supervised it for 10 to 20 minutes, just holding it down by hand a little bit while the most of the expanding was happening, and then leaving it after that. The final step was to apply silicone on the top edge and the bottom edge of the shower dam, just to make sure it was fully waterproof. Here's what it looks like when we were done, other than waiting for the silicone to dry for the appropriate amount of time. I can say that the final result was that it really did keep the millipedes and slugs out and the water in the shower. This next video is taken about 2 months after we finished the job. You can see that there is some algae or mould growing on that strip, but using some bleach gel, so that's just bleach gel for cleaning toilets, managed to clean that off. There is still some discoloration. You can see that was between the silicone caulking and the shower dam, which I couldn't remove with the bleach gel, so I think if I did this again I would go back and rub the whole shower dam down with bleach gel before applying that silicone caulking. After that, on the very odd occasion, a really big slug or millipede would still come in, and we realised that there was the same gap problem on the outside of the edge of the shower. Here's what it looks like after we already removed the silicone. Would have been good if we'd done both jobs at the same time, but hindsight is 2020. The outside doesn't have water directly hitting it, so we thought we'd just use expanding foam this time. Unfortunately, we had to run out to Bunnings hardware store to buy some more expanding foam because the original can that we bought didn't keep for that long. We used a bit of cardboard to scrape off some of the wet excess, but the expanding foam still bubbles out, which we let dry and then we cut off with a Stanley knife. Making sure you put masking tape around the area is important doing it this way. I pulled off the masking tape and then re-masked it, and then we siliconed it with silicone caulking just over the top. Might have looked better with a opaque white silicone, but we're going for getting the job done, not looking good. I hope this video gave you some ideas to work with, especially if you, like us, can't afford to renovate your whole bathroom, and we hope you also learn from some of our regrets and mistakes. Thanks.